Okay, this is Homelink 8.5, Equivalent Fractions, for Grade 3 Everyday Math. The class continues fraction work by finding equivalent fraction names for fractions. Different fractions that name the same amount are called equivalent fractions. The fractions that complete problems 4 through 6 are equivalent. If needed, help your child name the fractional parts in these problems. Ask your child to explain the fraction name she or he chooses in problem 9. A fraction that is equivalent to 1 out of 4, 1/4, and describes the fraction of cats circled. So we're going to look at these problems. The pictures show 3 kinds of pie. Use a straight edge, or ruler, and do the following. So you have to divide up these different pies into the number of parts that it says to divide it into. So the first pie is this peach pie here. And it says, divide the peach pie into 4 equal pieces. Shade 2 of the pieces. Alright, so we're going to just split it here in half this way, and then we'll split it in half again. We'll have 4 equal pieces. Right there, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this gives us the direction to shade 2 of the pieces. So we're going to shade 2 of the pieces here. That's 1 and 2. Alright, next. Divide the blueberry pie into 6 equal pieces. Shade 3 of the pieces. So we divided up the blueberry pie into 6 equal pieces, and we're going to shade 3 of the pieces. Here's 1, and here's 2, and here's 3. Then we need to divide the cherry pie into 8 equal pieces. So we'll split it in half, and we'll split it in half again, and then we'll split each of these in half, because that will give us 4 pieces, and then if we split these in half one more time, that will give us 8 equal pieces. Alright, and so we're going to shade now 4 of the pieces. Alright, which will be these pieces here. Looks like I need a new writing utensil. Alright. And then, what fraction of each pie did you shade? So then we have to answer these questions down here. So I can see that I shaded 2/4 of the peach pie. 2/4, 2 out of 4. 2 out of 4 pieces, 2/4 of the peach pie. And write another name for this fraction. Well, I know that this is also equal to 1/2 of that peach pie. So 1 out of 2. How much of the blueberry pie did I shade? I shaded 3 out of 6 of the pieces. 3/6. Okay, and write another name for this fraction. Well, I can see that the blueberry pie and the peach pie have the same number shaded. So another name for the fraction could be 2 out of 4, 2/4. Or I could write 1 out of 2, 1/2. Okay, and basically anything that's going to equal 1/2 I could write. As far as the cherry pie goes, I shaded 4/8 of the cherry pie. Okay, and write another name for this fraction. The cherry pie, the amount that I shaded in the cherry pie is the same as what I shaded in the blueberry, and the same as what I shaded in the peach pie. Okay, so that's going to be another name for it, not 4/8, would be 2/4, or 1/2, or 3/6. Okay, basically anything that would equal 1/2. And up here for number 4, I could name it 1/2, or I could name it 4/8. I could name it 3/6. Okay, all of these we could say are equal to each other because it's the same amount. It's not the number of pieces that we shaded, which are all different, but it's the amount that we shaded. Then there's a second page to this home link. It's right here. And so for problem number 7, it says to circle 1/4 of the cats. So what we have to do to be able to circle 1/4 of the cats is we have to put these cats into groups. Okay, we actually have to make 4 groups with these cats. And so I'm going to count the cats to start with. I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I should be able to make equal groups of 4. Okay? And I'm going to put these cats into groups of 4 so that I have the 4 groups to start with. And I can see these 4 groups. And this says to circle 1/4 of the cats. So that means I need to circle 1/4 one of these groups. Alright, so I could do it like this. I could circle the cats this way. Basically I need to have 4 cats circled. Whether you circle them all together, whether you pick 4 and circle them, it doesn't matter. But you need to circle 1/4 of the cats, or 4 cats. How many cats did you circle? 4. Write a fraction that describes the group of cats you circled and that is equivalent to 1/4. So, the group of cats that I circled, I could say, well, there are 16 cats in all because we counted them, and I circled 4 out of 16 of those cats. Alright, so that would be a fraction that's going to be equivalent or equal to 1/4. Now, number 10. Each whole rectangle below is 1. Write the fraction inside each part. And it gives you little hints to get you started. So, this fraction here is 1/4. That means that's 1/4 of the rectangle. I can see here that this is 1/2. This bigger part, this larger part, is going to equal 1/2. And I can see that I could fit 2 of those 4ths right into this 1/2. Alright? These parts, however, they're smaller than 1/4. And if I look, I could actually fit 2 of those pieces right in there. And so I could fit, actually, in this whole rectangle, 8 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Which would mean that this is 1/8 and this is 1/8. So together these would equal 2/8. Okay, and 2/8 is the same as 1/4. We can see that area here as the same. Alright, and I could also say that this is 1/2, but I could also say that 1/4 plus 1/8 plus 1/8 is going to equal 1/2. So you can really look at fractions and figure out which ones are equal to each other and how they kind of add up and work together. The next one is number 11. So for number 11, you kind of have to look at this like this way. So this is 1/6. If this one's 1/6, this one's the same size. This is also 1/6. Alright? And now down here, I'm going to look at it this way. I have 1/6 and 1/6, which I know is going to equal 2/6. Well, this one down here is the exact same size as these two, so I know that this is also going to equal 2/6, but I only have one part of this fraction. I only have one part here, and 2/6 is equal to 1/3, 1 out of 3 pieces. Okay, so this, I could fit one here, and then if I were to squish the area a little bit, I would also be able to fit it in here if I wanted to think about it the same way. So this is 1/3. And then if I go to look at this one, I can say, well, how many of these big blocks could I fit into this rectangle? Well, I could fit 1, 2, 3. So this is also 1/3, even though they're shaped differently. They're both 1/3. So 1/3 and 1/3 plus 2/6, which is also 1/3, is also going to equal up to 1/2. This is Homelink 8.5, Equivalent Fractions, page 1 and page 2, for grade 3 Everyday Math.